quick start because in the last 2 losses here at home, they got off to poor starts, and it was tough for them to come back and win those games. They have to get off to a good start to get this crowd going and going crazy.
The Bulls in red have the first opportunity. B.J. Armstrong working more and more into this Chicago offense as Jordan has noted his improved play, and he's earned Jordan's trust. Inside to Cartwright, and the veteran has the first basket.
What Chicago always like to do early, especially in the first quarter, is to try to get the ball inside to Bill Cartwright, try to get him involved in the game.
Gettleman telling us before the game today wants his team to be just a bit more patient. Just one more pass, 1 more second before you let it fire. Terry Porter outside to Duckworth. So Duckworth answers Cartwright 2-all.
Well, I would have to say that was patience there. They moved the ball well, got to look for the open man, and ended up in Duckworth's hands for about a nice 10, 12-foot jump shot.
Cartwright back outside to Pippen. Pippen and Jordan outside the three-point line. Cartwright with that spin move, and he's 2 for 2.
Well, I tell you, this is a change of pace, huh? The 2 centers are battling out here early. I think it's good strategy on both teams' part. Try to go down low, get the big men involved.
Drexler still not 100%. That sore knee. Percy. Williams to Drexler. Percy. Won't fall, and Horace Grant holds it down. Ahead to Pippen, and the Bulls not eager to run. Cartwright with the first 4 points for Chicago. He's averaging only 6 a game. They go into him again. Pippen. Drexler knocks it away. The call is against Scottie Pippen, using the arm to clear.
Yeah, it was an excellent call here. You can see he went to the baseline and he hooked Clyde Drexler right there with the arm, and excellent call by the official. You can look for the Chicago Bulls not to get in a running game with the Portland Trailblazers because of their bench, because so many people are out with injuries. So look for them to slow the game down.
We're going to be talking about the Bulls' thinness on that bench, which has impacted the style of their play. Duckworth not there. Grant has his second rebound. Here's Armstrong, former Iowa star. Paxson, of course, on the injured list. He's had knee surgery the past week. Pippen, and it's Armstrong. And when he's clear and faces the basket, he's been deadly lately.
Well, you know, it helps when you get into a transition game. There's a transition basket right there by Terry Porter. But his teammates now believe in BJ, and that's why he's playing with more confidence now.
Jordan barely has touched the ball. The Bulls are 3 for 3 from the floor here at the opener. And Cartwright. Williams bats it to Duckworth. Here comes Porter looking for a tying goal. Around Armstrong. Pippen the other way for Chicago.
Looks like Scottie having a hard time handling the ball.
Jordan, a three-pointer. So Michael introduces himself to the score sheet with a 3.
Well, on that basket, that was a semi-transition basket, and Scottie Pippen took it to the lane, drew the man. Nice block right there by Michael, but good hustle by Clyde. Oh.
This is the layup, and Cartwright ahead to Jordan. Armstrong. Tipped in by Michael Jordan.
Well, just as you mentioned, he didn't touch it for a minute. Now he gets 2 quick baskets and he's involved in the game.
5 in a hurry for Jordan. And away from the ball, offensive foul on Portland. Buck Williams.
Well, here you have Scottie Pippen penetrating, and usually when you get good penetration, you get a shot like this, 3-pointer right there by Michael Jordan. And here's BJ driving. Nobody pays attention to Michael and boxes him out, and you know you got to put your body on Michael. Oh, the ball almost hit us, huh?
You're supposed to protect him. Where's the hands?
Yeah. But when Michael is on the court, you always have to pay attention to him, and that time somebody lost their assignment and didn't box him out, and he just jumped over everybody and tipped it in.
Cartwright strong to the hole and picks up the foul. Some of the gray showing in that beard of Bill. Duckworth has his first foul.
Well, this game is not going the way that Coach Adamman and the Portland Trail Blazers want this game to go early on. I mean, here they are down right now 11-4 before they get ready to shoot the free throws. And this crowd is still quiet. They haven't been rocking and rolling. So they're going to have to get going here early because with Michael Jordan, no game is safe for you. I don't care where you are. So they're going to have to get rolling because you know Michael at any time will take over this game.
35-year-old Cartwright has his 5th point. Never forget when you asked him last year about having 4 children, and you said, Bill, what's it like to have 4? And his answer, one word was, loud. That said it all.
But can you imagine him raising his voice? I bet all 4 of them pay attention when he speaks.
Cartwright matches his average on the season in the first 4 minutes of the game. 6 points for him.
I think right here, Portland's going to have to look to get Clyde Drexler involved in this offense somehow.
Kersey from outside. First points for Jerome Kersey. Right back comes Jordan to drill it.
I tell you, man, you know what, that hurts. You score a tough basket, they come right down, Michael Jordan pulls up right quick and comes right back at you for 2.
Good move by Kersey. He follows and draws the foul from Cartwright.
Now, that's the strategy that the Portland Trail Blazers must use against the Chicago Bulls. They must run the ball, push it up quick. Here's Jerome, follows his own shot, his own miss, and goes right back up, and Cartwright fouls him. They must get Chicago running back on defense and get some penetration because that's the only way they're going to be able to beat the Chicago Bulls is get them in a running game.
Kersey hits them both, has 4 points. The Bulls lead is 7. 7:17 left in this opening period. Pippen around Kersey gets the pick from Grant. Williams picks him up. Stolen by Drexler. 3-on-2 to Porter. He is fouled by Armstrong. B.J. Armstrong saving the basket, picks up his first foul. 7 minutes left in the opening quarter.
For the whole town.
An announcement is expected tomorrow from the district attorney's office in Salt Lake. Drexler trying to pick Jordan's pocket, picks up his first foul.
Well, he tried to come from the backside of him and pick it off. He just came down on his arm a little bit, but that's the kind of defense and that's the kind of aggressiveness this Portland Trailblazer team must display here because they have to get, like I said, this crowd can be a 6-man in their favor if they can display aggressiveness.
Jordan going to the left hand, Grant unable to collect the rebound, and here come the Blazers down by 5. Drexler over Jordan. Pippen the other way, and Jordan flashing down court. Jordan, B.J. Armstrong, and Jordan saying, all right, he likes what he sees from this young man from Detroit, B.J. Armstrong.
But as B.J. was saying, that Michael now has more confidence in him, is looking for him to shoot more, to run the team, and B.J. is taking over that role.
DJ said, yeah, part of my role is to stay out of his way, too. And there was a case in point. He's just trying to hang over here on the near sideline, let Michael do his thing.
Well, it's a different story when you're a reserve and a bench player, and then you're a starter. You just beat the buzzer. Good.
Oh, and he was right on line, just a little short from about 35 feet. Here comes Cliff Robinson, young man who has really developed as a top player for Portland this year. 19-point average, number 2 on the team. And Rod Strickland also enters, and Strickland the penetrator, the creator, and they're going to go to that smaller lineup.
Yeah, well, Coach Adamman wants to go to this smaller lineup. He feels that he gets more offense and better defense by playing this team. the Bulls to go into Cartwright with Cliff Robinson on it.
Drexler and Robinson able to deny Cartwright, who wanted a foul.
Well, good weak side, or I should say strong side, helped by Clyde Drexler, who came over and blocked it. Good help by Clyde.
Scottie Pippen is a little short, tipped out by Jordan, but there's Strickland for Portland. Porter, Robinson's first shot. He's a complete package. He's a shot blocker. He can go inside, outside. Plays both ends of the court well. Flip Robinson from the University of Connecticut. Cartwright. Horace Grant. Rebound Porter. The Blazers on the run. Strickland, Porter for three.
Now this is the game the Bulls don't want to get into, a run and gun game with the Portland Trailblazers, because the Trailblazers will win at that game.
Especially with the Bulls, this is the tail end of a very exhausting road swing for him. Drexler nearly steals from Pippen. It's Jordan. Horace Grant, another offensive board for Grant. Foul on Cliff Robinson.
Well, what happens when you take a chance on a steal like Cliff did, like Clyde did, and didn't come up with it, then Horace Grant had to rotate over to Michael. Michael takes the shot. He's left open up under the basket for offensive board. So if you don't get the steal on the Bulls, it's going to definitely hurt you. And that time it hurt the Portland Trailblazers.
Darrell Walker has come in for Scottie Pippen as Grant makes it 18-12 Chicago. Last season, the Chicago bench adding 47 points to each game. This year, only 23. In part, Rodney McRae, injured knee. John Paxson's had knee surgery. Scott Williams has been asked to do more and more, but the results just haven't been there, and it's impacted how Chicago has had to strategize.
So no question, people wonder why Michael Jordan is taking more shots. That's the reason why. And also, the second reason is because that's the reason why his field goal percentage is down, because he's taking more shots because the bench is not producing.
That was Buck Williams making the defensive play. Bounce to the Bulls.
Now with Cartwright going out, you can probably look, and with Scottie Pippen going out for the Bulls, you can probably look for Horace Grant to get more involved. And I called him Harvey before, and I better say, I'm sorry, it's Horace, and Michael to take the majority of the shots.
Three-pointer. His second of this first quarter, and Jordan 10 points already. 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
To me right here, doesn't seem like the Trailblazers are for sure what they really want to do. They're passing the ball around, but with no real body movement. They have to, not only does the ball have to move, but the body has to move too.
Jordan firing that pass to Darrell Walker and handcuffed him.
So they have to move the ball as well as bodies.
Strickland. Robinson. Porter with 5 on the shot clock and the whistle in the lane.
The problem with the Portland Trailblazers is everybody's bunched together, so when somebody passes the ball and that guy maybe wants to drive, he cannot drive because too many guys are already in the same area, and what they have to do is spread the court a little bit more, and they can get the penetration that they want.
Bulls call time, 3:22 left in the first period.
Our team is going at full bore, so we may have to float off maybe the idea of pushing and crashing and trying to win every game and going so hard at it that we forget the perspective that the regular season is so important. First is very important, but the ultimate goal is to arrive in the playoffs full health.
Slam by Drexler, and now the steal. Here come the Blazers. Cliff Robinson hits the 20-footer, and it's 21-16.
Well, when the Portland Trailblazers are playing aggressive defense, that translates to offense. And these two quick baskets have been a result of good, excellent defense by the Portland Trail Blazers.
Scott Williams, and the former North Carolina star, has his first bucket. Phil Jackson, he wants to get everyone healthy. The team has not been sound. They are thin. Robinson not there. Jordan is.
Well, he has the right idea because the ultimate goal is to win another championship. And he knows that his players will be ready when the playoffs get here. That's a tough shot right there.
By Strickland. Jordan has 4 rebounds in this quarter. Bulls dominating the glass. And another for Scott Williams, who comes down hard and draws the foul from Buck Williams, his second. Let's go back to the Drexler stuff.
Well, here's a penetration. He kicks it off by Strickland to Drexler. Slam dunk. No matter what, if you let that ball get into the middle and penetrate that defense, you're going to always end up with a layup or a good shot. In that time, it was an excellent move by Strickland.
Scottie Pippen has returned for Chicago, and there's Kevin Duckworth for Williams with 2 early fouls. Stacey King also joins the Bulls lineup for the first time, and Rick Edelman counters with Mario Elie.
Now, it looks like what they're doing here, the Chicago Bulls, is playing always Michael or Scottie. At this time, they're playing both of them together with the 3 reserve guys.
Elie with a rebound of Jordan. Miss. Look at that. Drexler flying down court.
Oh, boy, this brought the house down. Now they're getting into it now. This is what they needed, some energy. When you get energy from the crowd, and if they can get this crowd going, they can continue to sustain the energy that they will have to beat the Bulls.
Jump ball is the call as Walker drives the lane.
Dick, you always get good offense from good defense, and right now they're starting to exert themselves in terms of the Portland Trail Blazers on defense, and that's why they're getting some easy hoops on offense.
Drexler said that he doesn't feel 100% on those knees yet, but boy, he went flying like the Drexler of old. Approaching the 1-minute mark, first quarter. Walker is 1 for 10 shooting since joining the Bulls on a 10-day contract, and rattles in Scottie Pippen.
Well, with Darryl Walker in his defense, he hasn't been playing all season, so they pick him up. He's not in shape. He doesn't have any rhythm, so he's going to be off, but you give him a couple, maybe 2 or 3 more weeks, and he'll be back to the old Darryl Walker, playing good defense, causing havoc for teams on the defense. And he's a good find for the Chicago Bulls.
3-point play by Pippen, his first points of the game. Robinson over Scott Williams. Jordan. Boy, is he doing a job on the board. That's 5 rebounds for him. Great pass to Scott Williams.
That was an excellent pass and a great cut by Scott Williams. Boy, I tell you, Michael Jordan can do more than just score. He can pass it too.
If you didn't like that play, you'll never like one. I know. Magic written all over.
You got it.
Strickland doesn't get the traveling call as there was contact by the defensive player. Now Scott Williams to Jordan with 22 seconds left in the quarter.
So they'll play for the last shot. Look for them to spread the court, let Michael go one-on-one, and probably create for either himself or somebody else.
Robinson with a rebound, knocked away by Walker with a 1.5 seconds left.
Now, the reason that the Portland Trail Blazers are behind in this quarter, Dick, is the fact that they haven't been patient on offense. They've come down and have thrown up some quick shots, and they haven't fallen for them, and that's the reason they're behind.
Oh, my, no basket. Rick Edelman thought it was good. Long pass to Drexler. You would think in 1.6 seconds that would have been a good shot, but the call is no good.
I think the clock started before he touched it. Well, no.
He did take a little time for the fake.
Yes.
contested yet.
Oh, no, that's good. That's good. Run it back. Got to run it back. Okay, up. Release. Oh, boy, I tell you.
Even on the slow motion and playing it back and forth, a tough call at best. 18 is all the Blazers could muster, and the first quarter woes continue. Opening quarter, they're getting themselves behind and having trouble catching up. They needed that shot by Drexler.
Exactly. Now they need this one right here on a good possession. They got to come down and execute and get them 2 points.
They shot only 33% in the first quarter. Chicago with 46%. Hustle on the defensive end by Stacey King. Uses the knee on that one, picks up his first foul.
I tell you, Coach Adelman was talking about the Chicago Bulls' aggressiveness on defense, and it usually takes them out of their offense. And right now, Chicago's defense is taking Portland Trailblazers out of their offense and forcing them way outside.
Traveling. Robinson, little shuffle step.
It's a lot of. It seems like there's a lot of frustration because Portland likes to play a game that's running, easy, cutting, and they're not being able to cut. And they haven't been able to run. So there's a lot of frustration on their faces right now.
Armstrong, Pippen with 10. Stacey King with a move. Duckworth blocks. Ellie the other way. Robinson with a handoff from Terry Porter. He has 6.
That was a great find that time by Terry Porter.
Michael Jordan getting a rest, and Pippen takes it in.
Here's Ellie passing it over to Terry Porter. He penetrates, he dishes off right there to Cliff Robinson. That's what a point guard's job is to get in the lane and
at the other end, here's Pippen being fouled, and a technical foul now has been called as well on Kevin Duckworth.
And you know, Dick, that was a pretty move by Scottie Pippen because he went up right, switched it to his left, and kissed it off the glass. I like that.
Armstrong shooting the technical.
And you know, one thing that I don't understand about teams in this league, when they play Chicago, they know that when the Bulls go to their bench, they always leave Scottie Pippen and bring in 4 guys. And you must concentrate on Scottie and try to deny him the ball and make the other 4 guys beat you. And teams don't do that.
Robinson. Williams keeps it alive. Duckworth steals it from Armstrong. And then it's Stacey King slapping at Duckworth.
Yeah, I think he called it out of bounds, that Stacey King was out of bounds when he hit it. And therefore it's Portland's ball. Right here, Stacey King jumps out of bounds and hits the ball at the same time.
Hometown Blazers down by 10 to the NBA champion Bulls. Early in the second quarter, Porter for 3. King with the rebound. Walker. And the foul on Mario Ellie.
See, what Darryl Walker gives the Chicago Bulls is a guy who's a veteran. He's going to play his role. He's going to work hard. And he's not going to get in Scottie Pippen's way or Michael's way. He's going to do the dirty things, the things that players don't like to do. Play defense, dive on the floor for loose balls, and just give you some sense of a leader.
Walker from Arkansas started the year with the Pistons. This is his 5th team in 10 years in the NBA. His first point. It's the last day of his contract as well, the 10-day. 11-point advantage, Chicago. And the foul on the Bulls. just as Armstrong was heading for a solo. Second on B.J. Armstrong, and with it a timeout, just under 10 minutes left. First half
player, but he's also a great tennis player. He beat me, and when it was all over with, the thing that he really surprised me with, he said, when you see that Enberg, you tell him I'm looking for him.
Hey, was that his second serve or his first serve that we just saw, Bud?
I don't know. I didn't see any of them. They were so fast.
It sounded long to me. Boy, it looked pretty good form, and he's just playing with those volleys.
Oh, he's an athlete. He can play anything that he sets his mind to play. He can definitely excel in it.
Blazers need some scoring, and it's Strickland inside. The little man, he finds a way to get those shots off.
I've said it so many times. He goes to that hoop, he's going to get the shot off, and he's going to score.
And answering at the other end is Scottie Pippen. He now has 7.
That's a great play that they run. They always have that pick and roll for Scottie coming off the pick, shooting a jumper, or penetrate to the basket. That's a tough play to defend.
Michael getting a extensive rest here in the second quarter. Robinson back out to Ellie.
Well, Coach Jackson has to love it because, you know, you're not losing any ground, man. In fact, you're almost gaining a little ground. So the longer Michael can stay out on the bench, the better it is for the Chicago Bulls, especially for the second half.
Horace Grant in for Scott Williams. Porter with 2. And Horace Grant rebounds.
I tell you, this game is a perfect game for the Bulls. We run a little bit, then we slow it down a lot. We run a little bit, then we slow it down a lot. They're going to make sure that they don't give the Portland Trailblazers a chance to run. Good steal by Duckworth.
Shaw, the Blazers unable to hit any three-point buckets, and Ellie unable to connect. He is fouled. Pippen picks up the foul, his second.
Right here, Stacey King tries to pivot around Duckworth. He steals it. Pass over here to Ellie. And he's been a good find for the Portland Trailblazers. They signed him as a free agent, and he's really helped them coming off the bench. He's a solid player. Runs the court, plays good defense.
Averaging 8.5 a game. Michael Jordan returns, and as soon as Jordan went to that scores table, Clyde Drexler jumped off the bench for Portland. And Drexler will replace Ellie depending on what happens with his free throw.
Well, you always bring, when you bring one superstar back, you bring the other superstar. You know.
Ellie hits them both. 9-point Chicago advantage. It's Armstrong, Pippen, Scott Williams, Jordan, and Grant for the Bulls. Porter, Duckworth, and Grant. Can he save? Last touch by Porter, and a good call.
Very good call. Wow. Well, Michael here fires it underneath for Horace Grant, who didn't really move into the open area. Then he saves it. Right there, Cliff hits the ball, and it's Chicago ball.
Pippen with one of those slashing moves, and almost a steal. Drexler goes down hard. He's okay.
Portland has a little lineup in with the 3 guards in.
Duckworth way off the mark. Last touched by Drexler.
Well, see, he was like 2 feet out of his range. He should have dribbled in 2 feet, and that probably would have been the perfect shot for him.
Intimidating defense. It's part of the Bulls' championship structure. They play you tough.
Well, they deny all the things you want to do. They take you right out of them, and they also don't give you what you want. Like right now, Portland doesn't have a chance to run.
The basket to Grant, but Jordan kept it alive. He was up there and able to deny the rebound, and
that's another missed box out by the Portland Trailblazers. You got to box these guys out.
Porter, the top 3-point shooter for the Blazers, denied outside, and a foul by Scott Williams. Reaching in. Watch Jordan how he keeps this alive.
Boy, he keeps moving here, and he just goes up on the other side of the rim and tips it, and then Horace comes right in and follows for 2. I tell you, Michael Jordan can do it all. He really can. I mean, he could play great defense, score, but he can also do little things like rebound, tip the ball, make something happen.
Cliff Robinson now has 8 to lead Portland, but it's the Bulls by 9 as they go into the offensive end with Jordan. Over Porter. Tipped in. Scott Williams way above the rim.
What a play. I tell you, they're beating Portland at their own game. Portland is supposed to be the best rebounding team in basketball, and Chicago is beating them at their own game as far as rebounding, both defensively and offensively.
Buck Williams over Horace Grant. And the veteran can't hit. Rebound Scott Williams. 3-on-3 with Pippen. You got to check him early.
Yes. Oh, good move.
Jordan. See a good billiards player. Does he play billiards?
Take 2 guys out, then I'm going to come in, I'm going to just hesitate, left hand. Oh, man.
4 different Blazers were in a position to stop Jordan. But can any human?
The higher you go, the more power you need. That's why up here they depend on the most horsepower ever in a turbo diesel pickup. Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Some people get nasal congestion, but if you get sinus congestion, use a sinus spray like Sinex. Only Sinex has a decongestant plus Vicks Vapors, so you can feel your swollen passages open up. For sinus, think Sinex.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor, the Schick Tracer adjusts to your face. Tracer's the only razor with blades that bend and flex for a clean, close, comfortable shave. Schick, we're changing the face of shaving.
It's rockin'. It's slammin'. It's here. It's the NBA All-Star Stay in School Jam, featuring performances by Boyz II Men, Tracy Spencer, catch Shaq rapping with Pushnikin, plus appearances by the coolest celebrities and the red-hot NBA All-Star. It's a jam and celebration of excellence in attitude, attendance, and achievement. Don't miss the NBA All-Star Stay in School Jam, Sunday, February 21st, 2 p.m. Eastern on NBC.
Well, kids, I want you to just check out this ball and head fake by Michael Jordan. This is the way you're supposed to do it. And then I know you can't do this, but anyway, no other human can do it either. What a move by Michael Jordan. And this one, I just want you to watch it. I'm not going to say anything.
You know you're in trouble on defense when that tongue is flapping like that.
Oh, man. MJ Michael Jordan, I tell you. If we could just fly maybe 1 or 2 inches, not his vertical leap, we won't even dream about that. If you and I can just get off the floor 5 inches, it would be great.
Yeah, that's where you were when you went at it Monte Carlo prior to the Olympics. That's where he finally, the coup de grace, you couldn't beat him there when he won the sky.
You know, when he won the sky or score.
Back on the floor for
There's that pressure, good steal by Pippen.
And it's Jordan for 3.
The reason he hit that 3 was because of the shot before. When he starts feeling it, he just goes. And right now, he might go for 4 or 5 shots in a row. So Portland better pay attention to Michael Jordan.
Team that's trying to three-peat the Chicago Bulls, and Michael 3 for 3 on his 3-point attempts in this first half. He leads all scorers with 15.
There's that man again. What is it about him that he can get in there and double pump and 2 guys jump at him and he can still get it off, that being Rod Strickland.
Jordan dishing it off and loose ball out of bounds to Chicago. Scott Williams wanted a foul.
Here's a steal right here by Pippen. Now he knows that Michael's been hot. He kicks it right back out to him. I tell you.
Little Roxy kick there, a little right foot kick there.
It's because of the rhythm. He's in a rhythm. He's in a groove. And it's
stealing the ball. That's you were amazed when you saw those statistics yesterday. That Part of the total strength of this team, their defense.
It's unbelievable, but that in the last 4 games, a team can average 13.5 steals.
At the line for the Bulls, Michael Jordan shooting 2.
Season average 9.5, and that's high.
Yes, and that's where they're so effective is on defense. See, people look at Michael Jordan and look at Scottie Pippen and say all that offense, but it's not the Bulls offense that hurt you or beat you, it's their defense. And that's what they're putting on the Portland Trailblazers here today.
Jordan, the Bulls' top free throw shooter, 84.5%. That was his first attempt. Bulls are now 5 for 10 from the line in this half and have their biggest lead, 43-28.
They're keeping them off balance just enough. The Chicago Bulls just keeping the Portland Trailblazers just off balance.
Drexler with his 6th point.
Because most of the Portland Trailblazers shots and baskets have been on jump shots, and they haven't got too many layups, and that's what the Bulls want.
Scottie Pippen. Drexler to Percy, Pippen to beat. Strickland! Good second effort by Strickland to hustle down court. He has 6.
You called it right. That was sure hustle right there by Ron Strickland.
Drexler working on Jordan.
Ball away.
I think with that move, he could score a basket and kick a 30-yard field goal all in one play.
Yes, he can do it. He could do it. Only him. Michael Jordan.
Strickland, Drexler up on the backs to keep that one away from Chicago. Three-pointer.
Oh, a big basket. Three-pointer by Jerome Kersey. It brings him back within 10 with 4 minutes to go. That was a big hoop.
Portland's first three-pointer, 1 for 6 in the game. Kersey now putting the vice on Pippen. Jordan, that tongue is out. Scott Williams, and they don't beat the buzzer. Good defense. Portland.
Well, Scott Williams made a big mistake. Anytime you see Michael Jordan rearing up to go one-on-one, he should have cleared through and gave him the room. What he did, he stayed in the corner. That way, his man could double team Michael. So a bad decision there by Scott Williams.
Drexler gets away from Jordan, sets up Cliff Robinson, back to Drexler. Yes! Oh, the Trailblazers muster a rally, 11-3 run for Portland and a timeout Chicago. Good thing those unattached to the roof, he would bring down the house.
You got that right. Michael Jordan is bringing the house down right here in Portland with a jump shot right there.
20 points for Jordan. Portland with a run, it cut the 16-point Bulls lead in half. Now up to 10 as Drexler picks up the offensive foul. Jordan had position. 3 fouls on Drexler. That's key.
Well, it's excellent. He gets right over there, right in front of him, cuts off his right hand. I see more contact, though. It was a tough call to make, but it goes Michael Jordan's way. And that's what happens when you get billed as a great defensive player like Michael. You get those calls.
Strickland had stolen for a moment. Finally winds up in Jordan's hands underneath, and he draws another foul. This time it's Cliff Robinson, his second.
Well, you know, every time that the Portland Trailblazers finally get a run, it seems like, number 23 just comes back and hits maybe 2-3 baskets in a row and puts out that fire that the Trailblazers have built up. And so right here again, here it is. They cut the lead to 8, and Michael again comes right back with 4 quick points, or this will be the 4th if he makes it, and takes the crowd right out of it again.
Impressive numbers, and still 3 minutes left in the first half. 22 for Jordan. Strickland again up the alley and draws the foul.
Now it's 2 minutes and 58 seconds to go into the half. I don't see Coach Adelman bringing anybody off the bench to replace Clyde Drexler, who has 3 fouls. I know he's not going to let Clyde stay out there with 3 fouls. Now, here comes Terry Porter. Okay.
Strickland with his 7th point. And Terry Porter in for Clyde Drexler.
You know, sometimes you get so psyched up to play another star. And then you're so psyched up that you do things that you normally wouldn't do in terms of pick up little fouls. And that's what happened here with Clyde. You know, he's in that battle with Michael Jordan, and he picked up some cheap fouls, and now he has to sit down. It hurts the Portland Trailblazers.
Jordan over Porter, rebound Robinson. What a matchup is that, though, Porter on Jordan? Robinson.
Well, I think because they played, Terry played him in the championship, he can feel that he can play him.
Jordan wanted a foul. It's Strickland at the other end. Back to an 8-point deficit.
Again, good defense resulted in a layup. Now, 8-point game with 2 minutes to go. This is a crucial time for both teams, and especially for the Portland Trailblazers. They can get themselves back in this game here quickly if they can just play good defense.
Michael with 7. 3-pointer. Rebound Strickland up there with the big boys. Boy, his presence has really been key to this comeback by Portland.
Well, he's doing it both on defense and on offense, and he's really been a leader out here.
Ooh, Jordan going for the steal, and Walker does. Strickland knocks it away, and a foul call. Strickland appeared to get the ball. Second on him.
Well, Darrell Walker, first of all, Portland, here Terry Porter throws it down to Strickland for the layup, which resulted from good defense. And here's, everybody knows in the league that Darrell Walker is an excellent defensive player. He gets in the passing lane, steals the ball, and Strickland comes down and fouls him. It's also known in the league that Darrell Walker is not a great free throw shooter, too, so maybe it was an excellent foul on Rod Strickland's part.
1 for 3 for Walker in the game. 50-41 Chicago. 1:36 left in the half. And Walker reaching in picks up the foul. He thought he had just stolen it plainly. His second.
Jerome Kersey right here with the penetration, and woo. Well, could have went either way there. He could have got the steal or the foul, and when you're at home sometimes you get those calls.
That's the first miss from the line in this half by the Blazers. They were 8 for 8.
You know, if there's only one flaw in Cliff Robinson's game, it's the fact that he's a poor free throw shooter.
Just under 70% on the season, which is his best free throw shooting in his 3 years in the league.
I really can't understand, Dick, why in the NBA that you have free throw shooters who shoot under 70%. I just can't understand that.
Pippen there to pick up the garbage. He now has 9.
Portland has to do is try to keep this game under 10 or at 10 going into the locker room.
Kersey. Rebound Buck Williams.
They still taking jump shots. Every time they've gone to the basket or get penetration, something good happens, like right then.
Porter's been quiet. 6 for him. Bulls by 8. 53 seconds left. First half. Jordan working on Porter. Kersey and Pippen. Great pass by Pippen, and Grant there there to stuff it.
Excellent pass. Boy, I tell you can tell that they're the world champions because they read each other so well. Slow it up again.
Gibson missing that short banker.
They just killing them with just an easy pace, and then fast and easy. They're just throwing them off balance.
Jordan chewing up as much time as possible, and it's Pippen for three. And Jordan in the right place again. Yes, sir.
With the leg up in the air with his rhythm.
24 first half points for Jordan. Buck Williams with a finger roll from outside.
That's the only thing he could do. He couldn't shoot it any other way, so he had to finger roll it.
His only points of the half, and it pulls Portland within 10 at the intermission.
Well, right here, Strickland comes down and he passes to Buck Williams. Now, he gets challenged right here by Scottie Pippen, so he had to finger roll it, and it went in for him. Here's Michael Jordan on that last shot. Watch his leg as he kicked for the rhythm. Oh, yeah. It's good.
24 for number 23. Say hey. It's the Bulls scoring. B.J. Armstrong on Porter. Drexler off to Duckworth. And a foul as Drexler flying in for the rebound. He and Jordan both do that so well. Their timing is immaculate.
Yes, and if he hadn't got pushed in his back, he would have had a tip-in or a slam dunk. And both of them can get up so high and can thrill the crowd with just one move, one basket. You know, they might be the only two players that can make one basket, but it might be the greatest move you've ever seen in your life.
Jordan's defense denying Kersey. Three-pointer by Drexler. Rebound Jordan. That's 9 rebounds. He leads all players in scoring and rebounding.
Well, sometimes his other parts of his game go unnoticed.
Duckworth knocked it away from Jordan.
They have about 9 seconds to go. They've been very patient on offense.
4 for Jordan. He'll try the 3. They're going to have to send him to a higher league.
And he just winked at me to say, you know, I can do this anytime I want to. Boy, I tell you.
Porter free as they picked Armstrong. Barry Porter. 8 points for him.
They need him to get hot. Him or Clyde to get going here to keep this game close.
Pippen with that lightning move up the middle. Drexler tighter on Jordan. Grant and Buck Williams. Just wouldn't spin in for Horace Grant, and the foul, I believe, on Cartwright will be his third.
Well, here's Michael again for that last three-pointer. And after he makes the basket, he just lets me know that, hey, it's all right, Magic. Yeah, good wink.
Ross Schneiderman thought he was winking at him. You're going to hurt his feelings. Drexler, the Duckworth. Pippen hawking Kersey and doing a great job. All defensive player, and Porter keeps it alive.
The pure hustle that time. That was just great hustle by Terry Porter.
Kersey and Cartwright inside to Buck Williams with a left hand. 4 points for Williams. A 9-point Chicago lead.
You know, they've been struggling to get some kind of rhythm on offense, that being the Portland Trail Blazers, and they seem to still not have it. They're getting tough baskets where Chicago is getting much easier baskets like that. That was an easier basket right there than the basket that the Portland Trail Blazers just got.
Pippen alone for the 15-footer. Kersey, and there's Pippen, those quick hands of his. A foul on whom?
Michael Jordan. That time for slapping him across the wrist. He got help right here by Michael. Good help, but he just got him on the wrist. but it was his presence of mind to come and shut the layup off by Jerome Kersey. So it was a good defense, but he did foul him.
51 early in the second half here in Portland. Bulls trying to complete a rigorous road trip. They still have one more to go at Indiana, but they'll go home for a couple of days before they travel to the Indiana capital city. Porter trying to save, but his foot was on the line as he goes right by the seat of Coach Rick Adelman.
Well, you know, you make them take a bad shot, and then you don't come up with the rebound. It's just one thing after another for Portland. You have to come up with that rebound, and here you're giving the Bulls a second chance to score again. They clear the side for Michael, goes one-on-one.
And there's Pippen to follow and draw the foul. Well, what a 1-2 package, Jordan and Pippen. And here's the Bulls road tour. It's a 16-day trip. It started in San Antonio where the Spurs beat them. And it looked as if it was going to be a dismal trip away from them. They did beat the Mavericks in their second stop. And there to Houston where the Rockets upended them. And then the big loss to the Nuggets. And at that point, uh-oh, what's happening to the Chicago Bulls? But from there on, they've won 3 in a row. And 2 of them very dramatically at Utah, coming from 20 points down in the second half. They were down 13 to the Clippers in the second half and won in overtime.
But if it hadn't been for Michael Jordan, they wouldn't have won either one of those games.
Duckworth a second chance. It just won't fall. Grant with a rebound. 3-on-2 for Chicago. Armstrong for 3.
You know, give B.J. credit as well as Scottie Pippen. B.J. ran to the corner, knew that Scottie was going to give him the ball. He set his feet, got in the right position, and Scottie kicked it to him for the easy 3. That's knowing your teammate, knowing what each other's going to do.
B.J. now 25, but you couldn't prove it by that boy's face, and he picks up his 3rd foul.
Well, you know, in Michael Jordan's household, Michael's son loves B.J. That's his favorite player. Not his dad, it's B.J.
Pippen with a steal.
Same play.
And an errant pass from Pippen trying to get it to Jordan for the 3-point try.
Well, they haven't had many turnovers, and that was just one of the few.
And the Blazers can be thankful. They're down by 15 points. And out of bounds to Portland. Phil Jackson, the cerebral headmaster of the Bulls. Well, what a Knicks team that was. We were talking about the IQ with Lucas and Phil Jackson on that team, the Senator Bill Bradley.
They could make a movie or a story or write a book about that team.
Duckworth hit his first shot of the game and hasn't since.
You know, I played here for, 12 years, and I've never seen this crowd so quiet in the 12 years I played here. And the Bulls have just taken the crowd and the team right out of this game. Their defense has really just smothered the Portland Trailblazers, that being Chicago.
Larry Porter, a tough off-balance, long-range jumper. He's 2 for 11. Duckworth's 1 for 8.
Again, look for Chicago just to run the clock down in the last 24 and then take a shot sometime within there.
Percy out of the pack. Porter on the run. Assist to Drexler. A rare fast break basket for the Blazers.
It was a beautiful fast break with Terry Porter finishing it off at the end.
Backcourt violation against Chicago.
Well, here's Clyde Drexler kicking it off to Terry, and he had to go up around on the other side, a beautiful move, and we'll be right back.
Part of that is not it's not greed. It's because he can do it, and he has to do it.
That's right, because the bench scoring is down. I think the bench last year was averaging 47 points a game. This year they're right around 22, 23. But if I was Coach Jackson, I want that average to be up even higher. Take more shots, Michael.
Drexler way off the mark, and Scott Williams back in rebounds. Drexler 4 for 13, and it's been a dismal shooting day for Portland, in part because of the tough Chicago defense. The Bulls by 13, middle of the third quarter. Jordan with 27 of them, 30. Horace Grant.
This is where they've been really hurting the Portland Trailblazers. That's on second shots. And then they come right back, and they don't rush themselves. You can see they're taking their time, and they're winding the clock down to the matchup that they want. And right there, a good steal there by Portland.
Porter, and there's a hold by Scott Williams, but no whistle. Drexler underneath. Assist to Porter. 10 for Drexler.
You know, if I was the Portland Trailblazers, I would force the action right here. I would get up and play them full court, force them to play at a quicker pace than they're playing, because here, a good steal there.
No advantage for Portland. High lob to Robinson. Batted out by Grant. Save? No, not by Jordan. It goes to Kersey. Porter for three. Oh, they needed that, and Kersey can't handle the rebound.
But see, that's the difference right there between Chicago and Portland. If Chicago had got that steal, they would have slowed the game down, worked their offense, got a good shot. Well, what happened with Portland is they got that loose ball, they forced a shot. 5 seconds, it was up. Why not work the clock, get a good shot to get yourself back in this game?
Portland shooting 37%. It's the Bulls by 11, under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Darrell Walker has returned to the Chicago line, or about to return. B.J. Armstrong can't hit the three. Porter loses the ball out of bounds. It appeared that Scott Williams touched it after Porter.
It definitely appeared that he touched it, so Chicago might have gotten a break right here.
Pippen with an advantage on Porter. Except now Robinson picks him up. Walker over Clyde Drexler. Darrell Walker, it's his first field goal. He has 4 points.
And that's what we were talking about again, that patience that the Bulls have and that the Portland Trailblazers don't have.
Drexler to Strickland, Buck Williams. 6 for Buck. 4:12 left in the third.
See, they're backing off of him. I can't understand the strategy here. Every guy, every pass that Chicago Bulls want to make, they can make it. Why not get up and pressure them? Because this defensive strategy is not working for the Portland Trailblazers. Another offensive board again.
And this is the time where Portland has to make hay with Michael Jordan on the bench.
Exactly.
They've got Pippen, who misses 2 in a row. Look at that, Scott Williams keep it alive. 3 on 2. Porter for 3. Not yet. He's 1 for 9. And most of those 3-point tries, well, that's Portland is 1 for 9 from 3-point range. Most of those by Porter.
That was the first quick shot of a Chicago Bull.
Strickland racing down court to score. Well, he has been the spark for Portland today. If there's a bright spot, there it is. Number 1, Rod Strickland.
And Phil Jackson called that timeout because Scott Williams went down. The Bulls just went down. Scott Williams took a quick shot, and that's why he called timeout. Right here, you got Rod Strickland driving a beautiful up and under kiss off the glass. Great move by
black and white striped blouse. I'll give you the rest of that story. He supported her since she was born when he was in college. Pippen, right off the timeout. Scottie Pippen with a 15-footer. He has 15 points.
Again, the Portland Trailblazers make a run and somebody answers for the Bulls, and that time it was Scottie Pippen. They just can't find a driving lane. Every time they try, push off. Right there. That first call right there. Push. Every time that the Portland Trailblazers go to penetrate or drive, there's another man to stop them and make them kick it back out. Whereas when the Bulls go to penetrate and drive, they can go all the way to the basket. So team defense as far as the Bulls is a lot better than the Portland Trailblazers.
Darrell Walker with a foul. His third. And Porter pulls the Blazers within 10. Michael Jordan comes back.
Michael Jordan returns.
Walker with the breather.
Well, here you're bringing them back because you want to close out this quarter strong and don't want to give any life to the Portland Trailblazers. And that's why Coach Jackson brought Michael back into the game.
This is a mile 10-4 run for Portland. Got the lead to 9. Robinson knocking it away, but Pippen picks up the loose ball. Jordan with 10. He didn't exactly cool off over there, did he?
No, he didn't. He got right where he wanted to be in terms of right in that lane and took about a nice 7-footer. And he's been on all day. You can't give him those type of shots. Good defense.
Partially blocked.
2 minutes in the quarter.
You can see and tell fans watching, this is why the Bulls are the world champions, because they know what type of game plan they want to play and they have executed it.
Good pass by Pippen. Williams can't connect. Out of it comes Strickland. To Drexler. Around Jordan. 12 for Clyde.
Clyde hasn't had many opportunities to get into the open court, but the ones he's had, he scored on. Here comes the crowd again.
And Scottie Pippen quiets him with another jumper. 20-footer for his 17th of the game, on his way to another All-Star Classic 2 weeks from today in Salt Lake City. Robinson. Horace Grant keeps it alive, and Scott Williams to Jordan.
Nice pass.
Goaltending on Robinson.
Beautiful pass by Michael Jordan, as well as way to get out there by Scottie Pippen. Here's a goaltending call right here. No question about it. Cliff Robinson goaltended, but I tell you, these Chicago Bulls have really played an excellent game so far this afternoon.
Jordan with the steal, breaks out 3-on-1. Pippen.
Chicago at their best. They are at their best in the open court. Slam dunk. He slammed it on Clyde, and then he looked at him and said, that was on you. 20-second timeout.
And they both play, both ends, and here Jordan, he had all the options. Who wants it?
Now watch him look at him and say, it's on you, Clyde. Don't jump at it no more today. I will dunk on you anytime. The thing about the NBA in this sport of basketball, you get to see beautiful players play a beautiful game. And when you watch the Chicago Bulls, you see beautiful basketball and you see beautiful athletes, the world's best. I mean, you got two of the best, not just in the NBA, but in any sport, two of the best athletes in the world, and Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
I think those other three guys on the floor are pretty good too. And there's Pippen, who's such a, you can't say he's underrated because he makes the NBA All-Defensive team most every year, but he does it in such an unspectacular way. Another steal, and the Bulls, who have made a habit of that on this road trip, down to 14 seconds. About 7 seconds difference in the shot and game clocks. And Jordan thought he was fouled. Porter. Oh, Jordan. No call against Jordan. Williams. And that is the end of the third quarter. Rick Adelman unhappy Jordan, it seemed to be rather obvious, right? And things you can't do get in the way of the things you can.
That's right. And the thing about it is he had him for an easy dunk.
There's Strickland going inside with big sequoias and draws the foul. Let's go back to that final play of the third quarter where Michael Jordan gets Porter. Look at this, and no foul was called, and he rocks into Porter, but there's a reason for that, you think?
Well, the reason was when Michael went up for the jump shot, he got fouled. So one no call creates another no call. There's no way that referee was going to make that call because then you owed Michael one.
Oh, shit! Strickland now with 14. He leads Portland in scoring.
But he's going to, I tell you, he's going to make it tough for Coach Adams because he's almost going to want some more playing time, especially the way he's been playing in these last 2 weeks.
Mark Bryant in for the first time for Portland. And Ellie also returns. 1 second, and the Pippen unable to beat the buzzer.
You know, that's the first time they were able to shut down that spread offense of the Chicago Bulls. That would be important. They had no gap. Scottie Pippen had no gap or no lane to drive in, and that's why they had great help side defense that time by Scott Williams. Good block. You made up for that bad pass, Scott. But right here, Ellie drives, and Scott Williams comes over from his man and blocks the shot out of bounds.
Strickland back out to Ellie for three. Now two. He was on the line. Jordan now in double figures in rebounds. That's his 10th. You know, it's a couple points, 3 points under his 32-point average as he goes for his 7th consecutive scoring title. Grant, tough to the hole, gets the foul.
I don't understand why they keep shooting three-pointers and they've been off all game long. It's really just taking them out of the game. Every time they take a three-point shot, it seems like the Bulls run out on them and score.
Horace Grant, inspired by a leader in another sport this year. He's been listening to the words of the great Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame coach Vince Lombardi.
Well, I guess you listen from one champion to another, huh? If I was Horace, I would listen to Vince Lombardi too, winning all those Super Bowls, and a man who inspired his players. And also, Vince Lombardi is a man who helped a lot of players say that he helped them as far as their living outside of basketball.
And, Grant just showed one of the things Lombardi liked, the warrior mentality.
Oh, good steal.
Drexler stops the breakaway as Jordan had a sure two. 4 fouls on Drexler.
Well, he went up and he wanted to pass, and Michael intercepted it in mid-air, took it out of his hands in mid-air. Watch this. What a play. And he just went down, got fouled.
Do you think Jordan's happy? Is Michael Jordan happy? I mean, there are times when it seems like this just a season's too long for him.
Well, he's happy, but it's hard for him to maintain just being Michael Jordan all the time.
Drexler now with 14.
And what I mean by that, great jump shot that time by Michael Jordan, another jump shot. But because he has the burden of just, you know, every game he has to be Michael Jordan. Then when he goes out in public, they want a piece of it. Only time he can relax, like he told us yesterday, was at home. His kids and his wife. Juanita he can come home and be daddy and husband and don't have to worry about trying to live up to
the masses. The public's on him all the time. Boom! The defense isn't, but the public is.
Michael Jordan that time down the lane on 2 guys. And the fans
average 33 for Jordan.
Go, boys. Here it is right here. He's just, and that tongue is hanging. Oh, man. Everybody just sit back and watch.
Patrick, Shaq, the the next.
2, 3 from three-point range. A record 6 three-pointers, 35 points, all in the first half. Chicago off on the right foot in that game one, thanks to Jordan. An easy 33-point win en route to their second NBA title. And today, Jordan with 33 points, and he's hit on 4 trays. Another typical all-world performance.
Well, he loves to showcase his skills. This is his springboard right here to showcase his skills on national TV, and he doesn't want to disappoint any of his fans, and he hasn't today.
Robinson hits in recognition of the Jordan moment. Miller Genuine Draft donates $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund.
Plus, one thing about Michael, I think, is the fact that he thrives on challenges. He has a big challenge today in Clyde Drexler. And then, oh, man, another. He called an offensive foul. Okay.
Leading with his feet. Kind of kicks his way into that running jumper.
Even with an offensive foul, he still makes a great shot. You know, off balance, off the glass. But he just loved challenges, and he knew that he had a big challenge today, and any big game, he comes to the forefront.
Yeah, if there is any routine in his life of boredom, a game like this, national television against the top opponent really brings the adrenaline flow, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
A rare mistake by Chicago.
Okay, right here you got 8 minutes to go. I think what the Portland Trailblazers should try to do is to try to get this game within 10 in the next 2-3 minutes. They're only down right now 14, so it's only a couple baskets, and then it's anybody's game.
Robinson doesn't get the bounce, but gets his own rebound. Cliff Robinson with 13.
Good follow that time. Now I think they got to come up and put some pressure on the board. See, they're sitting back defensively, and that's not helping create steals. They need steals, and they need easy hoops right now to get back into this game.
Drexler on Jordan with 7. All alone is Scott Williams. Too easy. I feel the frustration, Magic. You wouldn't be a very good coach.
You know.
Jordan, no foul.
No foul. A lot of body.
And now the call.
That was less contact on that play there than the last one.
Jordan is so quick defensively. You know, it's tough to see the fouls, but this one had a lot of contact, didn't it?
It was body first, a lot of body contact first, and then the block. And Clyde is really frustrated. He is really frustrated because he feels he has 4 fouls. Michael only has 1. What did I have to do to draw a foul on Michael?
You don't see Drexler argue very often. Even then, it's very mild mannered.
Yes.
He was jawing a bit there.
Exactly.
Mark Bryant gets his first bucket. 12 points, the lead for the Bulls with less than 7 to go.
Couldn't get it to fall.
Foul on Scottie Pippen. And with that, a timeout. 6:43 left. 2 of his 13 as he follows his own missed shot. And his 8th rebound. He leads the Bulls today. And young 6-year-old Jessica up in the stands. The black and white stripes cheering her daddy, and oh my, she just said. And in fact, Cliff said that Jessica's really taught him something very important in life.
And that's patience, you know, and she's helped not only him mature as a man, but also mature as a basketball player as well.
Well, Robinson on cue, can't hit. And here comes Jordan the other way. Oh, what a pass. Armstrong, he scores, and he's fouled by Bryant. Well, we have a moment, a reminder tonight. Don't miss 2 all-new episodes of shows that have captivated America.
Really come out here and stuck to their game plan. They've executed it, and that's why they're going to end up winning this game.
Kelly hits a tough jumper. Well, they may not be laughing, the Bulls, on their way home, but they'll be smiling. A long Western trip. They've been away for 14 days, and this would make it 5-3, a victory today, and that's just what Jackson hoped they would get. Didn't look that way when they were 1-3 at the start.
Yes, you know, when you're the champion and you're the back-to-back champion, I don't care who you play, they coming out to beat you. And sometimes you'll go in expecting to win and not really show up to play to win. You expect to win and you play like that. And the teams that beat them were ready for them. And I think it just woke them up to remind them that, hey, every night we have to show up to play and not just because we're the back-to-back champions that we can just come on the floor and we're going to win like that. But they have to play to win. And they've done that today.
Third foul on Cliff Robinson. Horace Grant started playing with the Washington Bullets. Strickland, nice speed to Robinson, and the foul by Scott Williams. His fifth.
That's what penetration will do for you. Anytime you can get in that lane, something good is going to happen for you. And right here, Strickland drives, help comes, he dishes off to Robinson, who gets fouled right there by Scott Williams. So anytime that you're able to get in that lane, coaches dread that. They don't want that guard or any penetration because people have to come to help, and then that messes up your defense.
Well, you did that so well, but Strickland's a little man compared to you. To go in there and avoid creating a foul while you're creating an offense is an art in itself.
Well, see, my thing, I was big and I was slow. So I went in there.
Even when you hit him, you couldn't hurt him.
Right. But Strickland gets in there a little quicker than myself. But I was tall, and that would help me.
Jordan denied by Drexler. When Drexler was going back on offense, Jordan gave him a pat on the backside. Ran into the rebound.
Just can't get it to fall. And here they are going to slow the game down again. But I still say that when you're behind like this, you must dictate what Chicago is going to do. Right now, still again, I know I harped on this a lot today, but it's true that they just let Chicago do anything that they want to do. Make any pass. Look at this. They're just passing around.
Beats the buzzer. 1 second when Pippen let it fly.
And with the left hand high off the glass. What a shot. That's like a horse shot.
We'll see you do this one. 23 points for Pippen, above his average. Stolen by Armstrong. Robinson to beat. Robinson fouls.
But you know who created that steal was Michael Jordan. He turned him right into BJ.
Okay, here's the horse shot. Let's see if you can make it, Magic.
Well, he comes in there, fakes like he's going right, and high off the glass over Mark Bryant. Good. I don't know if I can go that high, though.
Timeout with 4:34 to go. Scottie Pippen with 23. Jordan with
slam dunk in the three-point shooting contest. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope at least I got front row seats that I don't have to pay for.
11 points for Armstrong. Time running down as the Chicago Bulls about to record another very big win. They have the second best road record in the NBA coming in, 16-9, second to Phoenix. Phoenix has won today at home. So combinations of wins and losses. Cleveland won last night, so the Bulls will stay 3 up on the Cavs, and Rick Adelman's Blazers will fall 6 behind Phoenix here in the Pacific.
And it's not only Phoenix you have to be concerned with now. See, San Antonio, with this loss, I think puts them a game ahead of Portland as far as the second best record in the West.
Home court advantage so important. Both coaches talk about that when they look at the second half of the season.
Well, now they decided to press and put pressure on, which I had been saying all along they should have been doing earlier.
And they forced the turnover. Strickland touch it?
Oh, yeah.
Barely touched it. Just a piece of it.
I thought, well, they're about 20 minutes too late to be doing this. Good pressure here. Oh, just knocked out of bounds by Rod Strickland.
returning to the lineup. Jordan still in there with Pippen, Stacey King, and Horace Grant. Deflected by Robinson. Jordan and Drexler today, and big day for Michael. 33 points to Drexler's 14. And those numbers don't indicate what happened on the defensive end, except when they went against each other.
I think it's always tough for Clyde Drexler because he spends so much energy trying to guard Michael Jordan. So it's always tough.
Weaving inside and draws the foul.
Hesitation, pump fake with the head. He's just bobbing and weaving and just giving you all kind of fakes. Another fake, double pump there.
Drexler's fifth foul.
You're talking about a man. You know what, Michael? What makes him so difficult to guard is his first step. He's so quick, but then he's so strong once he gets toward the basket. He is so physically stronger than most guys that defend him. That's the reason why you can't stop him.
Deceptively so, isn't it?
You look at them arms he got on him. You know that he's been lifting weights and he keeps his body in shape.
Porter with a nice move to get his 14th point. He's just playing it out as the Bulls lead 95-82.
I thought Phil Jackson made a good point that because of the injuries, they got to play a slower game. And he's going to wait till the guys get back before he decides to put in his full court pressure and his trapping defense. And then at that point, right now, he says, maybe we'll lose some games because I'm going to rest the guys and we won't run. But at the end, I'm looking toward the playoffs, making sure that this team is rested and they're ready to go all out for that three-peat, I guess.
Well, you made a good point, too, though, that how much they miss Cliff Livingston. That kind of surprised me. You have such high regard for what he gave the Bulls the last couple of years.
Well, see, Cliff Livingston is a hard player to replace. Not his basketball ability, but his ability to keep the team up. He was an emotional leader. He was a guy who high-fived everybody when they came off the court. He was a guy who, beautiful move right there by Rod Strickland. But he was a guy who just gave him that intangible ingredient that nobody else can give them, and that's just excitement, energy, and a guy who kept everybody happy, everybody going.
And as a veteran, they had so much respect for him, so it was just that enthusiasm that was read in the proper way, not a rookie's enthusiasm.
Right, and he knew his role, and he played his role.
Three-pointer for Robinson. 17 for Robinson.
And I think this year, Cliff Robinson is going to be the sixth man of the year. He's going to win that sixth man award this year. He's really playing outstanding, and especially with Douglas Shrimp now starting for Indiana and Dan Marley starting for Phoenix. He's going to, I think, really win it.
King is called for a blocking foul, and then Drexler gives him a little push. The pick, King a little too aggressive and picks up the foul.
And they still talking about it right now. And the players come to the rescue. They just took him out. So here it is. Clyde felt he kind of threw his arm up, and then he just pushed him and told him don't do it anymore.
Third foul on King was taken out by Jackson. Drexler. Blocked beautifully by Grant. Saved by Robinson. He scores. So the Blazers pull within 8. 97-89.
It's a game again.
1:20 to go. A 7-0 run by Portland. Blocking foul on Robinson. His sixth, and that'll be all for him.
And at this point of the game, he was the only one really doing a lot of damage, him and Rod Strickland, and to lose him when they just made a run is a hard loss for the Portland Trail Blazers, probably to overcome. He tried to move in and take a charge, but he couldn't really get his feet set.
Leaves the game with his average 19 plus 10 boards. Second to Buck Williams in rebounding on the season.
Right now, we should, say that our prayers and thoughts go out to Australia. He did a lot for, especially young kids as far as tennis, and a lot for minorities as well. So we're going to miss him a lot.
Approaching the final minute of this game, 10-point Chicago Bull lead. Strickland off to Porter. I believe it was Jordan who got a piece of the shot.
That defense again. And he's smart enough to know, let's run the clock, work the clock.
Balance the floor, motioning everyone to spread it out.
Well, if anybody wants to know what's wrong with the Portland Trailblazers, is the fact that they're not executing right now on offense, and they're not really playing aggressive defense. And when Portland is at their best, they're playing aggressive defense to create turnovers and steals where they can get out to run. And there's a putback by Terry Porter, and they're not doing that right now in these last 4 or 5 games.
Strickland fouling Armstrong to stop the clock with 11.6 seconds, and the game score will be a bit misleading. It wasn't that close. 99-91 Chicago. The Bulls got off to a good start early. They jumped out quickly to a 13-4 lead, and Portland never got closer than that.
Yeah. And what you said earlier, maybe that decision on what's going to happen in Utah will help bring this team back to playing good basketball. They're all waiting. Coach Adelman has said that it's hurt them, and because their concentration is there more than here on the basketball court, and it's hurt them in practice as well to prepare. So maybe that decision will help them.
101-91. Drexler. Rebound Williams, and this will do it. The Portland Trail Blazers, for the first time in 4 years, have lost 3 consecutive home games. And the Chicago Bulls, with a 1-3 start on this longest road trip of the year, have won their last 4 in a row to give them a 5-3 mark, going to Chicago for a couple of nights and then to Indiana against the Pacers on Wednesday night. 101-91, Chicago victorious in Portland today. We'll be back with a final word after this.